Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today guys, we're going to dive deep into side effects of abortion guys. I know maybe there's this, you have done an abortion, you are so thinking like, or you're thinking, considering maybe to do an abortion guys. So what are the side effects of an abortion? Maybe you're forcing that girlfriend of yours to go and abort, or maybe you yourself, you're planning to go out for that abortion. So what are the side effects of abortion guys? I'm Ken, I'm a nurse, a registered nurse here in Kenya. So guys, let's dive into the side effects of abortion or conducting an abortion. One is excessive bleeding or hemorrhage. So if you carry out an abortion and it does not go out as planned, guys, remember you can bleed so much. You can have this heavy bleeding. You can bleed, and remember, bleeding is a major killer or the major killer of most women here in our country, especially we call it postpartum hemorrhage, excessive bleeding, maybe after conducting that procedure. After undergoing that procedure, maybe guys, undergoing that procedure or that abortion procedure, guys. So you can bleed so much, you can lose a lot of blood, and really it can cause even you can die, you can go into shock. So guys, abortion. So the major side effects one that we look into abortion in one conducting abortion is excessive bleeding. So excessive bleeding is a major side effect of abortion. Other thing is getting infection, guys. So maybe that procedure is not conducting as you with clean things, or we call it sterile procedure. It's not carried out in a sterile way. So they induce bacteria or microorganism in the upper area of the reproductive system. Now you get infected with infection ascending to the cervix, because when that now the cervix opens, maybe if you use now the tablets maybe to conduct your abortion, now the cervix is being opened, and when the cervix open, you get microorganism ascending to the upper segment of the uterus, maybe causing infection in the uterus. So guys, infection is also number two side effect of conducting an abortion. Number three is anxiety. So I really conducting an abortion can make you so anxious, like you are thinking, will I ever get a baby? Will this bleeding stop? Maybe you're bleeding, you're continuing bleeding. You're so anxious, like, oh, am I even going to die? Am I going to have a baby in the future? Have I destroyed myself? So there are many things like they run through your mind, guys. So anxiety is also a side effect of conducting an abortion. So far I've listed three side effects of conducting abortion. One being that you're going to bleed excess, you can bleed excess, that you call excessive bleeding or heavy bleeding. Then another thing that also we have talked about is the infection. So infection can ascend on your upper segment of the reproductive system. Then we have talked about anxiety. Anxiety being a psychological maybe outcome now or side effect of conducting an abortion. Now guys, we can have retained products of conception, guys. So maybe I've done the abortion, now we have the incomplete abortions. Now we have the retained product of conception remaining up there. Not every the clothes are not completely expelled, guys. So you'll continue having those cramping. So cramping will be there, showing that the uterus is trying to contract, trying to expel those clots, and guys, so you'll also cramping is also a side effect of abortion that I've not mentioned. But cramping is there. Cramping is a major side effect of conducting abortion. And really, the cramping comes from the contractility of the uterus as it tries to expel the clots now, the retained product of conception, guys. And remember, if the products are there, you'll continue bleeding. You continue bleeding and you bleed and you bleed until all the clots are expelled. And they'll only be expelled if you go now to a medical center, you go to that facility where they're going to carry out an MVA. An MVA is a procedure where they're going to clean out each and every retained product that is going to remain maybe there. After now carrying out that procedure, they're going down to do the MVA. MVA now expels all the clots now from your uterus, making cleaning that place. So, guys, I've talked of the four side effects of conducting an abortion. One is that we've talked about excessive bleeding, retained products of conception, infection ascending. We have talked of anxiety being a psychological disorder or a psychological something that comes now with your procedure after conducting that procedure, guys. Another thing that can make you, sometimes it can lead to infertility. but it's not guaranteed. But if the procedure is done in a medical way, it can end up damaging your organs, your reproductive organs, now causing a long time impactfulness of a long time disorder in your reproductive organs, guys. So as I've said, or as I have talked about, guys, so we have said that it can cause infertility in the long run. So you can consider, you can try to avoid that abortion or that. So that is why we advocate that if you really, you are not planning to get pregnant, that you use the safe preventive mechanism, preventive measures, so that you don't get pregnant. So that it does not warrant you when you get pregnant. Now it warrants you to run for an abortion maybe, and then you run there. Somebody does things in a quirky way, leaving you in this disoriented way, leaving you in such a traumatic way, and also trauma or PTSD, post-traumatic disorder. It's also one of the major effects of those carrying out an abortion. So let's say you are bleeding so much, the bleeding has been so long, so profusely. Literally, it's going to leave you in that in that trauma, like feeling, oh my God. Now you are going to have so much trauma in your head, something running. Whenever you see even somebody bleeding, whenever you see yourself bleeding, like now it becomes like a trauma. You feel like, oh my God, maybe this event is going to recur again. So PTSD, post-traumatic syndrome or disorder. Now it's also a major effect of contracting an abortion, guys. So consider using the preventive measures, using the condom when you don't want, using the emergency pills if you don't want to get pregnant, or consider the best way. Consider going for family planning. Get the best family planning method that works for you guys and is going to save you from doing or saving you from going through a lot, guys. So as I've talked, a recap of the side effects of contracting abortion: one is infection, two is excessive bleeding, three is anxiety, PTSD, also in terms of psychological, and then the change products of conception. In the long run, it can lead to infertility. So, guys, what do you think? Do you have any point that you think you should add there? Do you have any side effects? Maybe you've done it and you've gone through it. How did you manage it, guys?